I desperately want to bring your attention to the Lord of Wolves in the current PvP sandbox as the best shotgun in the game. Hear me out on this one, and watch the gameplay in the background before you declare this as clickbait. Pellet shotguns have been obliterated over the years with nerf after nerf after nerf. They've nerfed pellet spread directly and indirectly through sliding nerfs, one-hit kill distance has been nerfed, quick draw on shotguns has been destroyed, heck, even slug shotguns haven't escaped this nerf hammer. Chaperone is no longer the badass monster it used to be and has had its range nerfed considerably, so it's no longer an outlier. Where do all these nerfs leave us then? Well, we're at a point now where Lord of Wolves, which was always a consistent gun, can now outrange all pellet shotguns reliably and can now even compete against opening shot slug shotguns without requiring any headshots. Now, the Lord of Wolves is already part of the shotgun meta on PC, but I was shocked to see how incredibly powerful this shotgun is even on console. I was destroying people even with Godroll Found Verdicts on my PS5. Let's go over the basics first for those of you who haven't used this gun before. And honestly, even some of you veterans out there might have been using this gun wrong. The Lord of Wolves is an exotic shotgun that is unique in that it fires a burst of 5 bullets, which means instead of it being an instant kill, it has a TTK of 0.2 seconds to kill an opponent. It has the same one-hit kill distance as a slug shotgun with opening shot, so around 12 meters, so that it outranges every pellet shotgun in the game currently. Pellet shotguns like the Found Verdict, Fellwinter's Lie, Astral Horizon have a max range of 7 to 8 meters for reference, so this thing outranges them by a huge margin. Its exotic perk, Release the Wolves, changes the firing mode of this gun from a 5 burst to a 10 burst. Now, on paper this sounds insane. Double the bullets, double the potential, right guys? In actuality, this exotic perk is garbage, and I've seen so many people mid-game switch to Lord of Wolves after they get annoyed seeing me slay with this gun and use this perk by accident. The 10 burst has so much recoil and such a horrible bullet spread that it becomes nearly impossible to one-hit kill your opponents despite firing twice the number of bullets. Stick to the normal 5 burst mode, the bullet pattern is much tighter and pinpoint accurate. The catalyst for this gun, which drops frequently from any playlist activity, is one I highly recommend. It increases reload speed while Release the Wolves is active and increases stability when you're not using that perk. Now, because we won't be using Release the Wolves, it increases the stability of this weapon considerably, so much so that getting the second and third kill with this gun becomes so much easier. For you controller players out there, this is absolutely huge for securing that second and third kill. To add to this, when you spawn into a Crucible game, you spawn in with 15 bullets for Lord of Wolves, which is 3 bursts or 3 potential kills. It's an absolute game changer for 3v3 game modes and lets you be a bit more trigger happy with your shotgun. Now, like I mentioned before, over the past year or so, pellet shotguns have received several nerfs which have resulted in them feeling incredibly inconsistent, even within their intended range. If you take a pellet shotgun and fire it at an opponent at the exact same distance of 7 to 8 meters, depending on its max range and the perks it has, and hit them in the exact same spot, it's RNG whether you will kill your opponent or not. I.e., pellet shotguns feel inconsistent as hell. You know when your Trials buddy says they whiffed their shotgun shot? They might actually be telling the truth in that scenario, guys. Honestly, there is nothing more frustrating in PvP than leaving your opponents with a minuscule of health or having your shotgun whiff knowing that in another identical scenario, that same shot would have beat your opponent. Dying to your opponent outplaying you, in my mind, is always acceptable. Dying to inconsistent RNG mechanics of a gun makes you want to pull your hair out and not play the game. Now this is where Lord of Wolves comes in. Lord of Wolves shines in its consistency. It will consistently kill at its max intended range provided you hit all 5 shots in its burst. Once you have consistency in a loadout, you will naturally start to find the intended range where the gun really shines and learn to build a playstyle around that intended range you know will kill 100% of the time. Honestly, I feel so scared to ape full speed with my Found Verdict or my 7th Seraph or Astral Horizon because half the time I don't know if the shotgun will whiff or not. With this thing, I just feel so much more confident in aping. If you're worried that this is an exotic weapon and lacks in-air accuracy, don't worry one bit. In my testing, it's an absolute beast mid-air, and I was gunning down Stompy Hunters in mid-air duels. One other crazy thing I noticed was that this gun does not give a glow when you have it out while invisible. Usually when you run around and you're invisible with a shotgun, it will glow white to give away that you have a special weapon out. Now this thing is bugged and it doesn't glow at all, so you can really take advantage with an Invis Void 3.0 build. Honestly, it just felt kind of busted that I could run around with this special weapon out all the time and not get penalized for it. Now, in terms of downsides, the only time I was being beat by a regular shotgun user was if I was within the sort of 5 to 6 meter range of a pellet shotgun user, and I didn't have time to see the person beforehand, i.e. I suddenly found myself right next to a pellet shotgun user around a corner or an obstacle. If an opponent plays like that consistently, then often treating Lord of Wolves like a 12 meter fusion rifle was quite helpful. Backpedaling or anticipating that you don't want to be right next to an opponent worked a lot of the times. Another great tactic with Lord of Wolves is to start firing at around 15 meters for a quick 2 burst kill, which is 0.4 seconds TTK. Honestly, this thing fires 2 bursts quicker than any other shotgun in the game, so take advantage of that. If you guys remember the Dustrock Blues meta from ages ago in D2, with full auto Dustrock Blues, that was the kind of gameplay you can emulate with this Lord of Wolves. You can 2-tap people from miles away so quickly they don't even know what hit them. As the TTK is 0.4 seconds even with a 2-tap, you can actually kill a lot of fusion rifle users and catch them off guard within that 15 meters range before they've even charged up a rapid fire fusion rifle, which has a charge time of 460 milliseconds. The Destiny meta works in weird ways, guys. History often repeats itself. I think this gun was last the meta over a year ago, and since it was nerfed, I don't think anyone has really talked about it. Well, after a series of nerfs to pellet shotguns, slug shotguns, and heck, even fusion rifles have received a nerf now, this thing in my eyes has become a serious contender for one of the best special weapons out there. Don't sleep on the Lord of Wolves, guys. It's absolutely ridiculous in the current sandbox. If you enjoyed what I talked about, remember to like the video, as that helps me out a ton. For more relevant PvP and PvE content, remember to subscribe to the channel. I'm Mr. Ronnet, and that's it for today. Peace out, guys.